Oh my God. I keep making this video, so we're just going to get into it. This video is for Luke. I apologize if I'm a little tired. I'm tired. And I made this video like 3 times. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, like 3 times. It's just the energy about it. All right. You were talking about manifesting. You asked 2 questions under my last video. If anybody wants to know those questions, like I said, this is the 3rd, 4th time I've made this video. I don't really want to repeat everything. I know it's a dick of me, but I'm please, I'm tired. Anyway, you asked about how do you know if someone's a narcissist? Okay, and you asked you try to reflect, a good way, and this is taught all the time in my audio training. By the way, you're asking me a question on manifesting, and I have a 13-hour-long explanation of it. So, trying to sum it up, yeah, I can do it. I can do it. That's fair. I just want people to understand that, if you never knew about any of this stuff, that would be like me talking to you about advanced mathematics when you don't know what mathematics are. I know that's weird for you, but you got to remember, you went to school every day for years. Years! And you also were raised by people that also went to school for years. So something like mathematics sounds fucking crazy. Understand that if I went to another place and there's people on this planet that have not seen civilized man. I know that sounds crazy. There's an estimated 7 different tribes that have never seen technology or man. Ain't that crazy? There's people on this planet that have no fucking clue about planes, cell phones, anything, nothing. Even genes. They don't even understand any of it. They have no experience with that. So imagine me building a skyscraper right in the middle of the rainforest. Like, technically speaking, it's not impossible. Obviously. But imagine me building something like that or something like that. Even if it's a normal building, and I tried to explain that the reason why it works is because I understand the mathematics behind it all. Because you use the number system in order to understand all this. It's a way, it's a truth, and you're using it. Manifesting is just like that. And if you never heard about it, it's really hard to explain it. That'd be like me explaining really quickly mathematics, explain how you build the building. That makes no sense. What the fuck are you talking about? Numbers. What are these? Squiggly things that mean things? I don't know. Like, what's that one mean? I don't know. And then I could explain to them slowly. I got 1 Jarritos drink. I see 15 people in my village. I gotta go get from the truck that I drove here in 15 of these. Like, how did you know? Did you guess? Like, even they would know that. They could figure out that. But to use it to the advanced level that we have, mathematics, right? Okay, that's manifesting, right there. There's a basic foundation that you understand and grasp, and you can see how that's true. 1 Dorito, 2 Dorito, 2 people. I can go up and count 300 people and come back with 300 items, and they'll be like, "How did he do that?" Right? Because that's a number. Imagine that people that can't count that high. You understand that there is people out there that can't count like that. They can count, things on hand and stuff. But to count to 300, they'd have to know 1, 2, 3. They have to have a number system in order to, and then goes to 10, restart, Yeah, exactly. That's actually really complicated. It's funny because you're unaware of it because it's embedded in you. I've been programmed, just like you've been programmed with mathematics. I've been programmed with manifesting through a 13-hour-long audio series that I listened to 35 times. So I have an advantage. I have training. I have an education, an actual education. I have an actual education. Almost nobody on this planet has an actual education. People in America think they have an education. Nope. You just got trained on how to be a slave at a job. That's your education. That's not even an education. This is an actual education system. So I'm going to be talking. I know it's 5 minutes in. I apologize, Luke. He said, and I wish I had the quote, but I can't. So I'm going to sum it up. I'm sorry. You're saying your perception of how this is working is pretty on point. You have a predetermined mindset with your mind. You're like, okay, I'm going to want this to happen. You want something to happen. You predetermined mindset. You are correct. You put out through, you project with vibration, your feeling. That is what's projecting it. That is what is projecting it. Like computers and stuff can't manifest. That's a deep topic because we get into AI and stuff. We're not talking about that right now. But in general, a computer can't manifest. It doesn't have feelings, so it can't project what it's doing. But it does have mental powers. There's like a mental power about it, and we see that, and that's amazing. We can see the benefits of mental powers. But you're correct. You're thinking about a topic. That's you on that topic. That's like, imagine when you think something, your hands are touching it. Imagine that. Like, I'm thinking about this feather. Okay, not that feather. I don't want to pull that out. I'm thinking about this crystal. I want to manifest a crystal, right? So I'm like, okay, I can manifest whatever I want. So what should I want? I want a soda? No. I could get that crystal. I don't know. What do I want? Oh, I need to go buy another candle. That's right. Like, that's what you're doing. Like, you want something, and like, that's it. That's it, touching it. So you're thinking about a crystal. You want a crystal. You just want, we're going to keep it simple. You want a crystal. So you're thinking about the crystal. Basically, that means your hands are touching everything that is a crystal and anything that resonates close to it. That could even be meth, for instance. That's a crystal. Sugar's a crystal. I'm not kidding. Like, if you were thinking about crystals all day, and if you opened your mind, you'd be like, wait a minute, I'm in an aisle right now, and it's all sugar. Sugar crystals. It's raw sugar crystals. Whoa. You'll look over and you'll see the movie, The Dark Crystal. You'll be like, whoa. You see what I'm saying? Because it is. Even if it's the word crystal. You know what I mean? You see how this all resonates? But you, when you're touching it, are not pulling it or pushing it or really doing anything besides when you put emotion behind it. Now, you're always feeling. You never stop vibrating. Even when you're asleep, you're vibrating. Though that is different. I will admit there's more of a reset in the morning. When you wake up, you reset. So, you thinking about how your life's fucked and you don't know how you're going to pay rent. There's an inertia behind that big ball of energy that you have on that topic. When you wake up the next morning, it's a great opportunity because it's all reset. There's a resetness. Technically, you're always vibrating, but there's a resetness to where you wake up and your problems in the day, you have to actually regenerate them. Did you know that? Same thing with how you feel good. You can feel great. Go to bed, wake up, when I wake up, I have to get going, I gotta get that ball rolling. That's how that works. Anyway, so you're thinking about a crystal and you're projecting your feelings out in the universe, but the feeling is the energy source used to move things. I know this is, like I said, this is like mathematics. This is like mathematics. In school, you ask questions and get answers back. There's a lot of to and fro with somebody that understands a concept. Right. So right now I'm just trying to answer the questions you had. And I got like 20 minutes left because I got 8 minutes in. But yes, so you think about something and you're projecting out into the universe with your emotions, whether you want it or not. You're projecting your feeling. So how you feel when the crystal manifests is what you're putting into it. And I actually have stories about all these topics, but I'm trying to focus. So you want something and you feel excited. You feel good. Like you just can't wait to get this thing you want. Which is interesting because you can't really manifest anything, could you? Because some things you don't want. Right? Like you don't want it. So you won't be thinking about it that long. Whatever you think about, you manifest. The quote is, you become or you get what you think about most of the time. And that's Earl Nightingale. You become what you get most of the time. You become what you think about most of the time. But the way of saying it is you become or get. Because you manifest things. A lot of people don't understand that if you think dark thoughts, you become a dark person. If you think good thoughts, you become a good person. So that's why he said that. But you also manifest that which you think about. You manifest really that which you focus on most of the time. Because if I'm thinking about a crystal and I want a soda and, I'll get a water. That's the problem with society these days. It went from watching movies to watching YouTube videos to watching like 10-second TikToks. Your attention span's getting smaller and smaller through programming. So your ability to be like, I can't wait for a while. I want to soda. No, I want to. That's happening. And nobody's actually, there's a person that's working over there. I might have to pause this video and go over there and grab my stuff. So if I pause this video midway, it's because something just happened. But I'm going to continue. But if something does happen, I might have to get out and handle that. That's possible. I can't tell. It's a really cute looking girl. I'm just kidding. Well, the good news is I know I can physically win this battle. That's so fucked up. She doesn't know it, but I have my battery plugged in. I'm going off topic. I'm sorry. But yeah, people's attention. See, I just talked about it. 11. I was like, attention spans are small. And that's the problem. Oh, a girl. No way that just happened. Anyway. Yeah, attention span's small. Technically, the actual number is 68 seconds. Once you focus on something for 68 seconds, it has, what's that term? Inertia. It's got, it's not the right word for it, but it has its own gravity. So I'm like, do I want to do this? No. Dark thoughts pop up in your head. Don't worry about it. They're not that powerful as a positive thought. Thank God. And if you don't focus on it for more than 68 seconds, there's you can picture right now, like raping and murdering somebody. That's okay. Like a couple seconds, that's not a big deal. It's when people start thinking about like going out and raping kids. They think about things like that. That actually causes a gravity to go back to that thought. And the feeling behind it, and as we know, sexual desire is actually one of the highest powers on the planet. A lot of people don't know this. Love is number 2. I know you might not agree with it, but Napoleon Hill, who studied the richest and most powerful people on the planet for decades, back in like the 40s, wrote out the top 10 stimuli of the mind. So when things can stimulate you, drugs and alcohol will stimulate you, and you'll project, you'll vibrate differently. You'll create artwork, music, whatever, but you'll vibrate differently. Everything outside of you is an indicator of what you are vibrating, everything. So there's different things we can stimulate the mind, which will affect you. Sexual expression is number 1, which makes sense because, people like Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, a lot of the people that we admire have a sexual energy about them. But if you do not have love, you cannot hold that power. And you see that with people like Jeffrey Dahmer. There's people that don't have love in their heart. And they acted out on that intense sexual energy, which manifested victims. It did have an impact on people, right? Which, because they didn't have love, they couldn't wield this power, and it destroys you. Sexual energy will destroy you without love. If you can't hold love, that's why you should have love. There's a lot of people in this world that should level up, though. This is kind of mastering your light and your dark. And that's why dark forces are all power hungry, but it never plays out. And you can see that manifest through people like narcissists, where they are power hungry. Narcissists are power hungry. They want complete control and domination of their victims. This is kind of answering both things, I know. But that's true. They want complete control and domination. So there is them activating this power, but there's no love. There's no love at all. So it's very self-destructive, and it destroys everything else that they come in contact with little by little. If you ain't growing, you dying. And there's a reason why in astrology, this sexual sign Scorpio is death. There's a reason why that energy is death. Also, when you die, you go to source. So you can see how these 3 energies play out. And I have a story about me walking towards my death, and the sexual energy, it was a Kundalini awakening, but the sexual energy that I felt was through the roof. Like, you have no idea. I remember I was talking to a police officer the next day, because I was with that narcissist who tried to stab me, and we got in a fight at a Ramada. And that the cop came by and he was just like, are you guys like gay lovers? Because the sexual energy was just emitting so much. It was like awkward for people. It was really awkward to be around me because I was penetrating them. Ironically, because I have love in my heart, I have stories about me standing near people and that sexual energy penetrates them. But because I have love in my heart, it like breaks their boundaries and they feel good. I have some crazy stories, and I kind of getting off topic, so I got to get back on topic. So yes, going all the way back. You want something, you manifest it, you project it out in the universe, it comes back to you, and you said, when you see it come back, you get to place judgment on it. Like, you know, you put something out, and then that comes in, you can place judgment on it. Yet you can clarify where you're at, because the truth at the end of the day is fact. Everything is an indicator of what you are vibrating. Other people are vibrating too. And we do have collaborations. That's pretty much all day. That's pretty much what's happening. We're all collaborating. So if somebody gets in a wreck in a car, they all created it. But you manifested you being in that car way before you ever got in that car. You understand? So you create your entire reality. When things come in, observe. Observe it. What happened? Like, you wanted this thing and it came in. Is it what you thought it was going to be? Most people say no. Most people, when they manifest in the beginning, they don't know what they want. They don't even know who they are. And you are you when you're feeling good. When you're feeling good, you're you. When you're not feeling good, you're not you. Very simple. Evil is the opposite of love. I'm not even going to say hate's the opposite of love. I'm just going to say the opposite of love is a lack of love. A complete lack of love. And narcissists and stuff, that's the best way to describe them, is they just don't have love. They have a complete lack of love. It's a vibration that they can't really handle. They can't really wield it. They can't get into it. There's blockages in them that they need to handle. And that's their problem. If a narcissist was teachable, that's why teachability index I talk about in my channel, because if a narcissist is teachable, they're not really a narcissist. So you asked, how can you tell if a person's a narcissist? I'll get into that now. I know I'm kind of going back and forth, and I apologize, but I'm not making this video 5 times. How can you tell someone's a narcissist? Well, at my level, from experience, it's so easy. I can tell almost instantaneously. But you should watch some videos on it. They all do the same thing. There's different types of narcissists. You know, there's malignant, covert. You know, covert was my mom, which means they're, just like the name kind of sounds, they're the hardest ones to detect for many reasons. But at the end of the day, the truth, deep down internally, in that person is that they're the same as all the rest. They don't care at all. It's just a mask. It's just a mask. It's just an ego. You're literally talking to something that's going to die when they die. My ego may die, but my higher self ain't going to die when I die. Like, I truly know I'm immortal. That's why I don't really have a problem facing death, because I don't have that illusion. Narcissists hate death. They actually don't even think they're going to die. A lot of them don't think they're going to die. And usually when you read and listen to people that have experience with their parents dying on their deathbed that were narcissists, you know what usually happens? It usually plays out to where that person is just getting more hateful and more that, just worse and worse to the highest intensity level, cussing out every person next to them, and made sure to write in their will that nobody gets anything, and they fuck everybody over last second and then they die. And that's usually what happens. And they are in a state of fear because they can't control death. You can't control that. You're gonna die. Thank God. For me, it's like so awesome. I love the idea. But, you know, for these people, they have a control issue of power. They're gonna die. And they live their whole life investing in this ego that dies. Your ego dies. So these people are really just investing into the NPC character in the game of life. When you play GTA on an Xbox, ironically, it's kind of like a game in a game, isn't it? That's why, as above, so below. When you play a video game, the only reason why a video game can exist in reality is because you're in a video game. It's a hologram and a hologram. So ironically, you have a higher self above playing you, but instead of a controller, it's kind of like, you ever seen how we have reality augmentation, like we're doing, you know how in video games now, they're trying to do the whole thing where you know, you're in virtual reality? Think about in 100 years what virtual reality would look like. Dude, we used to play Pac-Man, and now we got 3-dimensional shooters. You know what I'm saying? It's going to look like reality. That's what virtual reality will eventually get to, reality. It's kind of like you're playing a Nintendo on an Xbox console, but you cannot play like a supercomputer on an Xbox console. It cannot process it. So you could live in a virtual reality, but it can only be as up to what the matrix you live in is. I only got 8 minutes. Fuck. Kind of going everywhere. Anyway, I could talk about what is narcissism. That's kind of me talking about what is narcissism and how these people have blockages from their higher self. So they're kind of like an NPC. So spirits can kind of come in that have their own agendas and manipulate through narcissists their goals. And that comes off as urges and like, aggression. They don't really know why they have to snap on you. They don't really understand why they have to destroy you. They don't really have a lot of control in their life, which is why it's funny that that's all they give a fuck about is controlling others. It's a reflection of what's going on internally. But to answer your question, how do you know? I'll give you some signs because I only got a couple minutes. This is for people generally. When you meet somebody, especially if you're trying to date, because dating is usually what happens with narcissists. That's how narcissists usually invade your life. If it's not already a family member, it's usually dating. And if this cuts out mid-speech, I'm posting it. Love bombing. Love bombing. Look up love bombing. Love bombing is when you meet somebody and they use their mind. Narcissists are masters of the mind. They are they worked out that only muscle every day, manipulating and seeing what they can do up here to control others. Puppet masters all day. So when you meet somebody, they'll love bomb you, which by the way feels so good. They will shower you with gifts. They'll say all the right things. They'll see your light and shine, and they will say and do things that only a person that could care about you would do. And above and beyond, they will. They're very charming. Wow. Very charming. And there's a lot of celebrities that are narcissists, which is so funny. There's a lot of people we celebrate that are narcissists. I'm not going to get into that, but love bombing. Love bombing. For me, I'm at a point where I can tell that you're love bombing me. I can tell. I can feel it. I can tell it's not genuine. You're just reflecting back what you think I would like. They don't feel, so they got to think. They're analyzing you. You can play games with them back. That's a good way to do it. Play games with them back. Also, observe how these people treat other people. Because they might be love bombing you, but they're going to fucking slip up. And they're going to show that they treat other people like shit. I've seen that. So that's, I'm going to make the last part of this video about signs, okay? I apologize. I hope you understand how to manifest. I didn't make a full thing about that. I apologize. We're going to talk about narcissism for the rest of this, and I do apologize. I'm sorry, Luke. Okay, some other signs. Well, again, love bombing. It's like the biggest one because they got to put bait on a hook. If you go fishing, you need to put bait on a hook to catch anything. I have a story about catching a fish without bait. There are a lot of stories. But you need bait on a hook. There's got to be something there that is alluring to your good side and your emotions. There's got to be something there that they're using trickery to get you to believe that they have empathy, that they care about you, they like you. But that's not what's happening at all. What is happening is they're sensing you and they're detecting whether or not you're mentally strong enough to battle them. And if they can press you below them, good. You'll see narcissist men and women date like the ugliest looking people. And you'll be like, why? And that's because their game ain't that good. This is the best manipulation they can get. You might see some, black dude narcissist date some big fat white girl. Why? Because he detected that chick has low self-esteem. That's it. Or has things that he wants. That kind of comes off racist, but stereotypes do happen. I see that a lot. I literally have a story at a job at McDonald's where I was dealing with this dude, this black dude who was a narcissist, and his girlfriend, this fat bitch, was the manager. And I realized that that's all that was happening, that he was just manipulating her. She likes black guys because that's her, that's what she likes, whatever, you could be weird about it. But, that's what she likes. And he sensed that and was like, oh, this is somebody who I can manipulate. That's it. So you'll sense that about a person. You should use your discernment when judging them. You can actually get clouded by your emotions. That's very true. And that's why it's also important to study these, because that's why I'm happy I had these people in my life, because it gave me mental strength. My mental strength is powerful. In tarot, which is what this manifested as, in tarot, the the swords, like the King of Swords or the Queen of Swords, when I'm doing a tarot reading and I said, let's see who's in your life. Ooh, King of Swords, reverse. What does that mean? You probably have a narcissist. Why? Because it's air. Air is thinking. So this is somebody in the mental world. Swords cut, don't they? It's a double-edged sword, but they cut. And most of the swords in tarot are negative. But it just means that somebody has that ability. I actually had to work that ability up in order to get these fuckers out of my life. So when the student is ready, the teacher does appear, because in a way, these people gave me my power, and I have no problem admitting that. I love the fact that I went through this. My mental strength, nerves are stronger from dealing with these people. And my emotions is what they thought was my weakness, is my strength. But I will admit, it does cloud you, because you'll meet somebody and you'll get love bombed. And the instant you fall for it, what they do is they now don't give you any more of that feeling. It's kind of like a drug. When you get high on a drug, the first time you get high is amazing, but you'll never get that same high again. Narcissists do the same thing. You'll meet them and they'll give you that high of, oh, you're so cute and beautiful. They'll do everything. They'll like get you a gift and we'll wrap it up. It'll be really cute. But then once you fall for it and they sense that you have fell for it, once they register you fell for it, they put you to the side and they devalue you. You'll notice that if you're dating somebody, that they don't give you the time of day, or they don't respond to your text, or they purposely flirt with other people in front of you, or they guilt trip you. Guilt trips are very powerful. The instant I meet somebody and I sense love bombing or guilt trips, it's like, and it's funny, because when you know that they're a narcissist, they know you know. I only got a minute left, so I'll tell you a story. I remember this one time I was out in New York, and this girl was asking for money. And I remember I was like half drunk walking down the street, and I was like, what's that? Oh, somebody asked me money. And I was like, I instantly knew this bitch was a narcissist. But she was talking like, I need some money so I can stay at the thing, the homeless shelter. And I'm like, yeah, I'm homeless too. And I'm having a great time, like, you know? And it got to a point, I was talking to her. She said, literally out of nowhere, my mom is dead. Can I have $20? I said, my mom tried to kill me. I don't give 2 fucks if your mom's dead, you fucking whore. And I remember I saw her a month later, and she was walking down the street, and she's like, hey, got $1? I was like, nope. And she's like, hey, got a lighter for my cigarette? She just wanted to see if I would fall for anything. Anything. Who do you listen to? She just wanted to see if I could give me a lighter. I'm communicating with you. Let's trade energy. You got money? No, a lighter? Just a cigarette? I just need a lighter. I said, nope. And she literally, right when I said nope, she went, fuck you. She did that. I was literally in town, and she went, fuck you. Fuck you. And I said, there you are. I said, there you are. There you is. And she literally went like this and walked into an alley. She said, fuck you, and walked away. It was really cool. And I know that's what's going on the whole time. People don't see it. But that was her true form. She said, fuck you, when she knew.